Hello and welcome to a Spider Strategies Scoreboard training video. In this video, we'll be covering using and creating briefings in Scoreboard. Briefings in Scoreboard are great because they provide the ability to bring diverse Scoreboard content into one comprehensive full-screen presentation medium, kind of like an internal PowerPoint deck, to share with consumers and contributors in Scoreboard. Briefings also provide the author of a briefing with control of the presentation flow to support the direction and narrative, the story that he or she wants to show and share with his or her audience. And lastly, briefings provide real-time, live, drill-down access to the underlying applications and data behind the overall presentation. For anyone who might be new to the idea of briefings, let's take a look at an existing briefing in our Mobile World, Inc. sample playground environment. I've logged into Scoreboard and have landed at the home page of Scoreboard. To access a briefing, we'll of course go to the Briefings section of Scoreboard. Within Briefings, we'll select the appropriate organization that we want to work with. In this case, the Mobile World, Inc. is the only organization presently containing any existing briefings. So we'll take a look at Mobile World. Mobile World represents a mythical telecommunication company, and in this case, we have a briefing called the Monthly Staff Meeting Briefing, which is comprised of 13 different slides. We'll jump straight into presentation mode by clicking Start in the upper right-hand corner to show the briefing in a full screen presentation mode. The first screen gives us a KPI history dashboard. We can use the chevrons or arrows at the top to navigate forward to page 2, showing us a sales pipeline dashboard, page 3, giving us the effects of IT initiatives, page 4, giving us a visual breakdown of sales performance, page 5, giving us a sales overview report, and so on. As you can see, you can easily navigate forward and backward between pages using the right and left pointing arrows or chevrons, and you also can use the drop-down at the top to jump ahead to any desired page of the briefing. In this case, if we jump ahead to page 8, which shows us an overview dashboard of call center key KPIs, we can see that they are doing well in the month of October 2018, and we can also use the time period selector in the upper right to navigate forward and backward on any particular page within the briefing. Furthermore, if we wanted to investigate any deeper details about, for instance, percent calls answered, we can click on the percent call answered speedometer and dive down into that single KPI and view details over time of our performance on percent calls answered. After viewing the details of the percent calls answered, we can easily navigate back to the briefing by clicking on the blinking monthly staff meeting call center KPIs in the upper left corner, again to return to the overall briefing and continue our page by page navigation through this monthly staff meeting briefing. When we're done viewing the briefing, we can click Stop and return to edit mode within Scoreboard. Having now reviewed the Mobile World art of the possible in a briefing, let's show you how to create a new briefing in Scoreboard. It's a 7-step process, starting by opening the Briefings section of Scoreboard. Next, accessing the appropriate organization within which you want to create a briefing. In this case, we're highlighting and we'll select Mobile World, Inc. Third, clicking the New Briefing button at the top of the black navigation pane to create a new briefing. Next, step 4 is providing an appropriate name for the new briefing, and then clicking the Create button towards the upper right. Fifth, review the existence of your new, currently empty briefing. Sixth, simply navigate to any existing scorecard views, dashboards, reports, initiatives, or applications that you want to add as pages in the new briefing, and use the Send To button to make them elements of the desired briefing. Lastly, select the new briefing destination and click the Save button in the lower right corner. Let's jump into a live demonstration of the creation of a new briefing in Scoreboard. Once again, I've accessed Scoreboard and have landed at the home page. To create a briefing, we'll start by entering the Briefings section of Scoreboard and selecting the organization within which we'd like to create a new briefing. Again, in this case, we'll select Mobile World Inc. and click the Select button. To create a new briefing, again, I'll click on the New Briefing button at the top of the black navigation pane and call this new briefing Demonstration Briefing. And then click the Create button. The briefing exists but is empty. To populate the briefing with content, we'll again start by going to the Dashboards area or section of Scoreboard and select an existing dashboard. In this case, it really doesn't matter which of the dashboards I select, so I'll start with the KPI history dashboard. I'll go to the far upper right corner, use the Send To dropdown, and select Briefing. I'll leave the name of this slide its default of KPI history. I'll tell it that I want this new dashboard to be added to the demonstration briefing that I recently created, and I'll click Save. That has now been added to our briefing. Let's repeat that process with the Effects of IT Initiatives dashboard as well. Again, we'll use in the upper right corner the Send To button, select Briefing. Again, we'll accept the default name of Effects of IT Initiatives. So again, select the Demonstration Briefing, and click Save. Next, let's move to a different type of content, in this case, charts and reports. Again, we're still remaining in the Mobile World Inc. organization, and we'll select the red KPI report to add to our new briefing. Again, we'll select the Send To button. Again, select Briefing. Again, accept the slide name of red KPI report. Again, navigate to the demonstration briefing in the lower right corner, and again click Save in the far lower right corner. Another type of content you might want to add to a briefing is a view of a scorecard element. So I'll navigate to the Scorecards section of Scoreboard. We'll open up the financial perspective and select the Increase Revenue objective, and we'll add this view of increase revenue to our new briefing. Again, we'll select the Send To dropdown in the upper right corner. Again, select Briefing. Once again, we'll accept the slide name of Increase Revenue, and again select the Demonstration Briefing, and again click Save. One last piece of content that we'll add to our new briefing will be a view of an initiative. Within the Initiatives section of Scoreboard, we have an initiative to build a search engine optimization capability, and we'll select that Build SEO capability, and once again click the Send To dropdown. Again, select Briefing. Once again, we'll accept the Build SEO capability name and select the Demonstration Briefing towards the lower right corner and click Save. We now have our demonstration briefing populated with 5 distinct pages, and we can open the demonstration briefing, and here in edit mode we can navigate page to page to page through all 5 pages of our briefing, and we can also view all 5 pages in a presentation mode by again clicking Start. Again, you have the ability to navigate forward and backward using the right and left pointing arrows or chevrons, and again use the drop-down list of all pages within the briefing to jump to any particular desired page in presentation mode. When we're done viewing the briefing in presentation mode, you can click Stop to return to the briefing within edit mode. One last point that you should be aware of with regard to briefings is if you do want to get into edit mode on an existing briefing, the edit button exists at the bottom of the black navigation pane as well as in the upper right corner next to the start button. In either case, you're brought into the same edit mode. Within edit mode, you have fairly limited capabilities in terms of what you can do with a briefing. You can reorder the pages by simple drag and drop. But if you wanted to edit the actual content of any of the pages, you do need to return to the original page, whether it be a dashboard, a scorecard view, or an initiative, or a report, and change the source of the page. In this case, the editing around a briefing is very much limited to just really reordering pages within the briefing itself. This completes our presentation about briefings within Scoreboard. We hope it's been helpful to you, but if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at learn@spiderstrategies.com. Thank you very much. Have a great day.